Raider Nation, what is up? It is your boy Chido Linus back at you with another Reaction Monday. Woo! We all know what happened. That was at the game. Let's not waste any further time, and let's just get to it because it was not pretty.
Trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
And I approve this message.
Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Just win, baby, win, baby, win, baby. We are the Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Just win, baby, win, baby, win, baby. Don't need no invitation. No. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you want a piece of this, you can come and get it. Touchdown, touchdown. Let's throw a bomb on first down. Let's throw a bomb on every down. First we score, then we clown. Having fun, look around. Nobody loud as a Raider crowd. Nobody proud as a Raider crowd. NFL, how you like me now? We gon' do this open style. Nothing but action. I'm Bo Jackson, hit the hole. Run you over, goal line. Jumping over, going crazy. Lose your soul, lose your mind in the black hole. Here's the goal, Super Bowl. And everybody here, get to go. Don't need no invitation. No. We are that Raider Nation. Yeah. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you want a piece of this, you can come and get it. Oakland Raiders.
Super Bowl is the goal. Well, after Sunday's performance, I don't know if I would say that right now, but you know what? Before I get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to a lot of the Raider Nation who was out there. Some of you may have seen the video, some of you not, but this past Sunday was my nephew Noah's first Raider game, and I just want to thank everybody for helping to make it feel special for him. All the super fans that were out there, off the top of my head, you know, I think Raider Jesse, Deadpool, Hollywood Raider. There was a whole bunch of others that stopped and take a picture and welcome in. He was even knighted in as a Raider fan. And a huge shout out to Simone Raider for the last minute hookup because there was some problem with their tickets and he was able to help us and be able to make it a memorable experience for my nephew. You know, even though for the most part for the fans it wasn't, but you know what can you say? I mean, the Raider offense disappears. You know, oh, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry. The Raider offense is gone, just didn't exist. It's still on the bye week. You know, from what we saw, they just couldn't get nothing going. It started off good. You know, they had that 8-minute drive. They couldn't get nothing going really in the beginning. And then after that, it was just nothing. It was just so hard to watch being out there to see our offense struggling when our defense was playing so good. And that's got to be like heartbreaking as a player, even on the team being down there on the field, to see the defense, like each time they were out there making those stops, making plays. Even when Minnesota would, you know, get a little drive going, get a couple yards going, because they did get their run game going a little bit. They couldn't really pass that much on us, but oh man, it was just so heartbreaking, to see. You know, like what can you really say out there than what hasn't already been said about, you know, the future. You know, a lot of us were expecting and hoping that AOC was the answer, and based on what I saw on Sunday, I gotta say no. I don't think so. He there were times, yeah, he got sacked. He didn't have pressure, but for the majority of the night, he had time. He had time. There were a couple plays he held that ball forever. You know, really no movement. Like I've always said about AOC, my biggest knock on him is he plays like his feet are stuck in the mud. You know, there's no movement, there's no pocket awareness, there's no field awareness about extending the play. I mean, even when he scrambles around, it just looks horrible. It looks bad. It doesn't look comfortable at all. You know, people say, oh, we should do a bootleg. And I'm like, with how? Who? You know, like, how is he going to do it? And it was so bad that at one point during the game, I remember saying, like, why can't we just put in Jimmy to see if even if it's just a spark, something to change the offense? You know, you saw the frustration on Tay on one of the plays that he went over the middle. And then when they finally got something going, of course, then we had the fumble. Story of a Raider fan's life: turnovers, penalties, and turnovers, penalties and turnovers. So many stupid penalties killed our drives, and then that big turnover, that fumble by Renfro was huge. Our only time that we were in the red zone, and even then, by the time we got to the red zone, the penalty kicked us back, kicked us back out. And then we were trying to get more yards, I guess, in that little screenplay they did to Renfro. He gets the ball punched out of him. Kudos to the Vikings defender, for making that play. They made a huge play. They made a good play. And they were able to take that ball away and kill that drive, I honestly think if we score on that drive, that's game. We beat them 7-0, whatever, because I didn't see that Vikings team getting in the end zone on our defense. Our defense was amazing. They were playing lights out. So one of the things I like to do here is, the good, the bad, and the ugly of this game. So for me, the good, I call it the lunch lady. That's what I was saying at the game. Is Mad Max. Mad Max in the defense, and then I say the lunch lady because all those fools do is just hand out sack lunches to everybody because they were pressuring the quarterback. They were bringing it. They were getting plays for loss. They were making it tough for the Vikings to even get a play or a pass off correctly. They played tough. They got a lot of a couple yards on us. He drove it a little bit, but that defense did not break, and it played his ass off for us. And you gotta give it up to Patrick Graham, in that defense, because I was one of those people who criticized him a lot last season about how horrible our defense was. Going into this season, that was going to be our Achilles heel, not the offense. We were all more worried about what the defense was going to look like because we hadn't signed any big names. We had just brought in players that were considered depth players. Even with the signing of Spillane, I remember when we signed Spillane, people were wondering, what's he going to do? What's he going to bring? And then just to see him, the way the Raiders have been able to utilize him, and I would say he's had a Pro Bowl type season. And if he doesn't, go out there and vote for Spillane to make the Pro Bowl. Get Spillane up in there because I think he's earned it. Between him, between Max, and I saw a big difference in our defensive line. Moving Tyree Wilson into the inside was huge difference, especially because he's still learning to adjust on the outside. So moving him on the inside, he finally got his sack. He got a sack today, which was good. So that was good to see. And then just the pressure they were putting on and giving it to them. But for me, the bad has to go with the play calling. The play calling was just so predictable, so lame. We couldn't get the run game going. And then, of course, the play of O'Connell. O'Connell just could not make the right decision, couldn't get it to the right spot. There was that huge pass that he missed to Devontae on the play action. He had Devontae down. If he would have got that ball, that would have been our first opportunity in the red zone. And to be able to watch that game and not get in the red zone at all, and then when we finally did, we lost and fumbled the ball. It was ridiculous. And even when we were in there, he called this screen to Tay with nobody in front of him blocking for him. I'm like, what the hell is that? What were you expecting him to go ahead and do, especially with the defense the Vikings were playing? There was a lot of zone defense. I was expecting them coming out of the bye to be more prepared, more creative, do more things with different players. I think I only saw or heard Mayer's name once or twice. One of them was a pass that he could have caught. It was a tough catch, but he didn't hold on to it. JJ had a few runs here and there, but then he ended up leaving the game due to injury. So that was very, very hard to watch. And I think watching that game, I now more than ever that if O'Connell's going to be in this league, it's going to be nothing more than as a backup. He is not the franchise quarterback we were hoping he would be. A lot of us were hoping that he would be that quarterback so we don't have to look forward to the draft and use our first round pick or draft, or maybe even some people are saying trade up to get one of these big name quarterbacks, whether that's Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, one of these type guys, and see what we can do for the future, because we got to do something. And this even goes back to even before the quarterback change, the coaching change. Our offense has struggled all year. With the exception of the Giants game and the first quarter in the KC game, like our offense hasn't done anything really. We go back to the Buffalo game; they were horrible. They started off good, ended up bad. The Denver game, that was just a hard fought defensive battle. The Charger game too, big turnover at the end cost us the game. So it's just a lot to be seen or to be expected that we would expect from our offense that we haven't seen, and it just continues to struggle. You figured, or we all thought or hoped that sooner or later they would get it, or there would be some type of progress. But we're already week 15, and here we are still waiting to see where that progress is going to be. And we were hoping it was going to be O'Connell, but after this Vikings game, I don't think so. I don't buy it. Now we're going into another game. Quick game on Thursday versus the Chargers, and I just don't see how he's going to make any difference, or if he does. I mean, I hope he does. I'm not going to sit here and hope that we lose or hope that we fail, but I'm just saying that I don't see the progress. I don't see what I was hoping that we thought we would see when we were calling for O'Connell to come in this game. And then for me, of course, the ugly was being there at the game was the Viking fans doing their skull chant. I know there's a couple of videos out there. I know Raider Jesse put one out there of all the Viking fans taking up the stadium, being there, being loud. I was listening to Locked On Raiders, and Q talked about it, how there were a lot of Viking fans there, but also not just the fact that they took over. That's a whole nother topic, a whole nother debate that we all as Raider fans have as to why opposing fans take over. Vegas is a travel destination. Fans will say, well, if they won, more people would show up. Others say it's the prices. But I mean, either way, there was a bunch of Vikings fans. But for the most part, giving them something to cheer about, because even though they were doing their skull chants and they were cheering, they were loud, it wasn't like they were doing it the whole game. Our defense shut down their offense, but then again, our offense didn't do much. And when our offense didn't do much, that would give that Vikings fans, more energy, more life. They were doing that chant. They did it in the beginning of the game before it started, and then they were doing it at the end once they kicked that field goal, and it was pretty much done with that the Raiders weren't going to move the ball after that O'Connell interception. But that was definitely an ugly scene to see, especially it being my little nephew's first game for him to see so many away fans. But I mean, it is what it is. It was a lot of people say it's the ugliest, the worst game you've ever seen. I'm an old school person. Normally, I love defensive battles. But when I mean defensive battles, I mean defensive battles where at least they were stopping offenses that showed or that tried. In this game, our offense was non-existent. It was a horrible showing by our offense, and it was actually very disappointing. I did not expect them to come out of the bye week. I was one of those that I didn't expect us to run the table. Coming out of the bye week, we still have Kansas City on our schedule, and that's always hard. And then divisional games, with the Chargers, the Broncos. We got to travel to Indianapolis. Things like that. It wasn't going to be easy, but I also didn't expect our offense to come out this flat. And I think for me, that's the most disappointing part. And it makes me wonder about, Coach AP. I'm one of those people that really believes or wants to believe in him. Let's put it that way. I want to believe in Coach AP. I want to believe in him because he did bring an energy back to the Raider Nation that was needed. That was greatly needed after the Josh McDaniels disaster. How much everyone hated it. The players seemed to come back to life, things of that nature. But at what point do we ask ourselves, like, is being a motivator enough to be the head coach of this team? Obviously, there's people saying out there that if we had an offensive coordinator, someone who could call plays, maybe then we would be able to do something. But right now you don't know you're going to get that chance. You're fighting for your job at this point. You got 4 games left. You had 5 to show something, and after that showing in Minnesota, I was listening again to that podcast, and it said that AP didn't show up to his press conference until a little later because he had a serious talk with Mark Davis. And I'm sure that didn't go well. Maybe, he heard some things about making changes, or he wants to see a change before, or maybe why didn't he put Jimmy in? I know a lot of people were saying it doesn't necessarily mean we have to start him the rest of the season. But to me personally, I think putting in Jimmy maybe around the fourth quarter to see if you can get a spark or get something going would have been good just to see, and it shows that Coach AP is trying to do something as opposed to, not looking out there like know what he's doing. I know I was one of the ones that was frustrated not hurrying the team up to the ball on that catch, by Andre Tucker, where he bobbled the ball or whatever. To me, it looked like he caught it, but then again, officials review. But we took so long to get up to the line and hike the ball while they were still thinking about challenging that play. It's little things like that. They make you like, oh, well, he's new. He needs to work on those. And I think those are the things you need to learn as a head coach. But I will say this about AP, though, and kudos to him. I know a lot of the times we saw Coach McDaniels always talk about player execution, and you can only do so much, and they got to go out there and do it and put blame. Put blame here, put blame there. But Coach AP took it like a G. Wouldn't expect any difference. He went out there and said this was on him. He's the head coach. They're going to go on and move forward and evaluate everything. Evaluate every position, every coach, everything they're doing to get things moving again. So for him, I really hope that they do come out some way or another, looking better against the Chargers. It's another home game coming up on a short week, and just see how he prepares for this. I was one of those people that was very, very high on Coach. I'm from LA. I used to bump straight out of Compton, and I would roll through the Coliseum too. But that doesn't necessarily only qualify me as reason, to be the coach as well. And not knocking on him, but I understand that maybe he wasn't prepared for this job. And it's learning, kind of like learning on the job type thing. And maybe that's not what's best for us right now. It's a hard place that we are because a lot of us like him. We love him, the energy that he brought, but also we want the team to succeed. So is it going to be able to succeed with a coach who doesn't know how to call plays or has a hard time calling hard plays with an offensive coordinator right now who's also new, who doesn't know, how to call plays or run his own offense, things of that nature. And I think it's so much harder for us to take in because of all the talent that we have on the offense. We have Tay, we have Jacoby Myers, we have Jacobs, we have Renfro. And it's hard for us as Raider fans to see our offense with this much talent and come up with nothing, come up with a zero at the end of the game, which was just so hard to take in and to watch and to be able to understand like what happened. Like we couldn't really score one damn point. Like maybe we have Carlson, Money Carlson, but we couldn't even get in range to even let him try one against his old team. That's how bad it was. So it was a really ugly overall offensive experience, offensive showing that we were there. And I hope Coach AP can get it together and somehow figure out something. I know you're not going to really bring in an offensive coordinator at this point, who's out there. But I know Mark and company definitely have a lot to think about, a lot to evaluate. Is Champ Kelly going to remain the GM? I really hope so. I hope that we at least keep Champ Kelly. I know he was supposed to take over or be hired before he hired Ziegler. So that'll be good to see, if they can keep Champ, and then what's that going to look like moving forward. Obviously, AP is going to get his chance at interviewing, and he gets an on-the-job interview. How's he gonna look, and how's he gonna finish these 4 games? What's it gonna look like? But if you've been a Raider fan for as long as as I have, other people, you don't get numb to this, but you kind of like when it happens, you're not surprised. Because this is what we say sometimes. Well, the Raiders are gonna Raider it out. Everyone expected them to come out on fire, to come out, guns blazing, the way they came out in that first quarter against Kansas City. Like maybe they can keep that energy throughout going on a team like Minnesota, and then to just shit the bed they did is just horrible and unacceptable. But, it is what it is. Not much else you can say about it, other than what else already been said about the coaches, the quarterback, what we look forward to. So I just wanted to do this quick little recap of the game and our experience there. My final thoughts is, losing sucks. It does. It's never fun. I don't ever want to think that I'm okay with losing. But then I also remember, I think, in taking my nephew with me to the game and what's it all about ultimately. Like, yes, we want our team to be Super Bowl champions. We want to be competitive. But then a lot of the time, too, is it's being part of the nation. You know, we're different. When we say we're the only nation, we're the one and only true nation, the Raider Nation, we mean it. But what do we mean by that? You know, that we're together, the camaraderie. You know, huge shout out to West Coast Pirates. You know, they were there. They let us hang out with them, kick it with them for a little bit. And we're part of the experience for my nephew. So, and it was funny in asking him, like, what he liked the most. It was me. Well, obviously, he loved walking to the stadium, the experience, you know, taking pictures, seeing the field. But he really liked being able to meet everyone and to see so many Raider fans come together, which I was telling him it's actually not that many. You know, I was actually pretty shocked considering what I saw in the Giants and the Jets game. There was a lot more Raider fans out there, but who knows? Maybe because it's a short week, more people were waiting to come against the Chargers than they were this other one. But for the most part, I'm hoping that Thursday will be different. You know, there'll be more Raider fans. Of course, you know, it's going to not be that hard to outnumber the two Charger fans that exist out there. But it's just tough. But it always, you know, I'm always going to be here supporting, cheering on the team. As you guys know, we have our own little group, Raider Syndicate. Shout out to my boys. Chris, Protect the Shield, Raider Rundown, Mike CT De Niro, you know, Solo, Turf, the Ultimate Raider Fan, Afakasi Raider, all of us just, you know, just trying to talk, get together, bring you guys content, stuff to talk about. I know we're going to have here a show coming up or live coming up pretty soon. We're going to get into it about winning, you know, about being mid, about drafting, about being okay with it, about things we feel the Raiders should be addressing and should be changing, you know. But as always, Raider Nation, you know, it's a pleasure, you know, from the womb to the tomb, Raider Nation till I die, because that's what it's all about. Just win, baby.
Look, check it out. All black with a hoodie, snapback, with a cap on. Long white socks, me mugging like I'm King Kong. With them all black Chuck Taylors. West side and this bitch yelling Raiders. Thuggin', cause we know with it. Motherfuckers like y'all suck, but we don't give a fuck, nigga. We go with it. Y'all jacking, getting nigga fucked up with the quickness. Parking lot squabbles, giving nigga the business. Shh, quiet. The fuck you mean? We yelling Raiders, bitch. Like fuck your team, you wanna talk your shit. Get sad like Scream Stadium, take off, nigga. Homicide scene. Oakland to LA, LA to Oakland, Las Vegas, Sin City, steady smoking. Raiders looking to get another ring like fuck y'all haters, nigga. Y'all know I mean, we yelling Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit there, two niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck. Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit there, two niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck.
With so much drama in the big LV, it's kinda hard being Yaya or end up C. But I, somehow, some ways, keep dropping these Raider hits like every single day. May I sip on this Henny while these haters pay attention and my name stay bitchin'. I'ma stay G'd up like a silver feed up and tucked as a burner just in case it heats up. But I'm humble, 10 toes down to never stumble. Keep doing Raider music, imitate and never double. It's like everywhere we go, it's like the same old shit. Here Raiders just suck, y'all can suck my dick. It's